Hello and welcome to yet another cube. Last one we had decent success with the UB with some strong cards, mainly recurrent nightmare. Amazing final game, to be honest. We lost it, of course. Spoiler, sorry. But I mean, I still enjoyed it. I was really like thinking about it and have to find out. Here I think Garruk is probably the better card of all of these. I'm not that big of a fan of green. But I think out of this pack it's probably the strongest. And the problem with green, of course, is that so many of their drops are 4 drops. We also want Namur to wheel, but probably won't. So yeah, pick up Garruk. Let me check everything here on Xsplit, making sure that everything is correct. Appears to be so. And the person to our right is probably timing out every single time here. We get Voice of Resurgence and Polychronos. As said, there's a lot of green drops that are 4. If you get Polychronos, if you get Voice to wheel, we probably want to pick up this card. Like, it is a really good 4 drop though. The monstrosity is nice. But the likelihood of voice wheeling is what? Maybe one black, but probably not. Like, if you pick this up, green is gonna be cut. Maybe voice wheels, maybe it won't. That will be pick 10, that we know that. There was a lot of red and black in that pack, but I mean, it's a second pick. You can't really have a tell because of that. I mean, it's cube. It's random, like you can't even see if it's like a common or non-common that's gone. So that doesn't really help you either. Now I have seen cubes and I have played cubes in real life where people like use the rares, commons and uncommons distribution in the packs as well, which I have liked but also disliked, to be honest. And there's another 4 drop. Like, I can't say this often enough, green has way too many 4 drops in the cube, I think. But it is ballot, it is a good one again. But I have to be careful of picking up more 4 drops after I pick this up. We can also go Fire Action Arena, which is usually good because green won't have a lot of drawing cards. But then if I pick up Arena, I probably want a live game from the ballot. Yeah, let's just keep on cutting green for my left. I keep picking up green. But as you can see, 3 4 drops already. I really don't like the fact that green has so many slots occupied at 4. And maybe that's something that they have to keep in mind with design philosophy as well. Where you put your your drops. Like blue tends to have a lot of 3 drop creatures like Wake Thrasher, Chasm Skulker, and another really big bunch. There's Arbor Elf, which is nice and keeps me in a single color, but there's also Exalted Angel and Sphinx's Revelation. There's also Wooded Bastion. Maybe Arbor Elf is correct to pick over Sphinxes. Like, Sphinxes won't wheel, Exalted Angel probably won't wheel. Wooded Bastion might wheel, but I mean, we still can keep open a color. But if you pick up Sphinxes, we can just go into blue and then splash white, and again another we can just try to splash blue or something. Another green 4 drop, huh? I think man, they're all 4 drops. God damn it. I think Cloudfin Raptor is the correct card if I want to play blue and then play green with it. We'll see how much blue we can get through, but that actually rhymes. I guess Floodplain has to be the pick here if you want to play Sphinxes. Not a lot of blue in this pack, but I mean the green cards aren't gonna get played. None of the other cards are gonna get played, like maybe Mindslaver, doubtfully Terminus. So we're gonna go for the Floodplain, which is fix in the blue for the white slot to be able to play Sphinxes Revelation. But I mean, we might just abandon those picks we're only 6 picks in. It really doesn't matter at this point. We're just looking what's coming our way, and seeing that we have a person who's probably random picking in front of us, it's gonna be a bit annoying to say the least. There's Chasm Skulker and Kitchen Sphinx. I think Kitchen Sphinx is a bit better, to be honest. Like, Chasm Skulker is obviously a good card, but I think Kitchen Sphinx, the fact that it's a 3/2, gains life, has persist. If you get something like a Birthing Pod open, it's really good. Chasm Skulker doesn't even always trigger Cloudfin Raptor if it has like decent 2-drops. And maybe one of these two will be the last pick, but very doubtfully. But I think Kitchen Sphinx has to be the pick here. Green is our base color anyway. We keep on cutting it from our left. And we should get rewarded because of that impact too. I'm not sure how relevant that is in Cube though. Find Her Elves is a good one. Eternal Witness is okay. But I think I have to go for the acceleration in Elves here. Wouldn't have minded Eternal Witness with Sphinxes, but I think that's a bit too much for the late game. I think we want to go find Horn Elves here. Just have a good 1-drop that does an accelerant. Uvenwald Tracker is obviously a card I wanna see. Spopier is fine, but I think Mystic Snake is better than Experiment 1 then, because it is a counter. It does commit us to blue compared to the Experiment 1 where it doesn't. But I think Mystic Snake is better. If we open like Kiora or get Kiora Pest now, because no one should be green, that's gonna be huge. Ah, man. I got these keys, this key chain, and when it was... So last week I was house sitting, right? Cat sitting, and I got these keys. And for some odd reason the keychain opened in my bag, or went open. It's just this stupid circle, you know, the kind where you put a key through. But like the circle isn't the circle anymore. They expanded somehow. I don't know how. And the 2 keys fell out, or were out. Not really anything interesting here. Academic Rector, not in my colors, but Garden Hellkite, probably the better card. But I think I'll hate Shadow Mage Infiltrator or something. I know, got some blue. Anyway, the keychain, so it's no longer a circle. The keys could just fall out again, and there was no way I could, you know, get it back together with just my hand. That would be pretty brutal because it damn hurt. Wooded Bastion has to be the pick here over these. So what's the name again of that card? Didn't wheel. The Voice of Resurgent didn't wheel apparently. Has to be a relic here. Anyway, so I fixed the 2 keys and then made it in such a way that the keychain still closes, but there's no way I can bend it anymore with my fingers, and I just pressed on it really hard and my fingers are hurting right now. That's why you heard me say something, I think. Flinthoof Born, I'll keep it there, but I probably won't play it. Jacopap, okay-ish. But I think I'm gonna be blue anyway, and maybe splashing white for Sphinx's Revelation. I think that sounds fine. Definitely on paper. We open pretty crappy. Like, there's only 1 blue card, and someone to our right is blue, so we wanted to get some decent blue cards here. But there is a Courser. I think Courser has to be the pick here. It's a 2/4. The build is really good. It's a 3-drop, like 4-drops are more common. It sets up your draws a bit better. Yeah, so Courser it is. So what do we have here? Not much either. There's Caracas, which does work with Polychronos at this point. There's also Stonecloakers, so maybe you just want to be splashing blue then, but that seems a bit greedy. But then I wouldn't want to pick Caracas either. So then the pick becomes Dry Sophisticate, which is just a trash card. So maybe Stonecloaker is better. But then if he's only decide to splash white, Stonecloaker doesn't have to be it. Soul of Ravnica, like I talked about this card before, it's trash, just not a card I want. Like big creatures I'm gonna get in green normally anyway. Although I haven't seen any. Like, maybe I want this. We are gonna be playing 3 colors, but not like... Now let's pick up Willbender. Might play it main deck, probably won't. Hallowed Fountain over Cryptic Command. I think that's correct. Again, these are my splash colors, so I think Hallowed Fountain has to be the pick here over Cryptic Command. Cryptic Command, the fact that it costs triple blue, is a bit too expensive for me. Maybe Wall of Blossoms Wheels, probably not. Maybe Night of Glory, and I'll play that. But man, these packs have been terrible for me, or someone is hate drafting me. But to get Upheaval, like Upheaval is a nuts card, especially in green, because you do have some acceleration cards normally. Wouldn't have minded Earling, but I can't pass up an Upheaval here. If you go mid-rangey and then have late game bomb Upheaval, that's good enough, to be honest. So I think that sets us up for being blue for sure. Let's make sure my microphone is correctly here. So you might have noticed the sound change there. My apologies. I think my microphone dropped a bit too low. Might not main deck the Willbender. Like, it's an okay card, but if that's the only morph you're running, like Exalted Angel didn't reel, which it obviously won't. The card is just a bit too strong. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a really good equipment, a really good blue card. This is a hard one, to be honest. Vengevine is obviously fine, but there's also Kira. Kira is really good, to be honest. Like, not being able to target your creatures is pretty strong. But seeing that we're creature based, maybe Vengevine is a bit better. Again, it's a 4-drop. I think I like Kira a bit more. And maybe Vengevine wheels, maybe Celestial Colonnade wheels, maybe one of these 2 wheels. How likely is it that... Nah, Kira is stronger. I think Kira is stronger. We get Dungeon Guys as well. Sakashima is nice, Beast Within is nice, but I think Dungeon Guys, the fact that it's a flyer, tap something down, is a bit better than these. Like, I don't have a lot that I want to copy with Sakashima so far, and don't really have a lot of coming to play effects outside of these 2. So I think Dungeon Guys is a bit better. Maybe this wheels, maybe this wheels, maybe this even wheels, but I can't pass up a Dungeon Guys here. Although it's a 4-drop, it's a really good one here. So looking for more 2-drops basically. Not sure which that would be though. Like Lotus Cobra would be really good. Nothing out of this pack. Maybe we got more blue to our right, but that doesn't seem to be that solid. Reflecting Pool doesn't seem to be that great either. None of these actually do like Vines of the Vastwood, but we already have Kira. Like maybe Engineered Explosives seems to be the better, and just run it as a sideboard card against something that runs a lot of tokens. Although wouldn't know what that would be. Too bad this Garruk isn't the one that untaps lands, because then Upheaval becomes even better. Probably won't be playing the Flinthoof board as already said, but I mean, we aren't really getting cards that we want that desperately. Awakening Zone is fine. What does this do? It seems terrible. There's Momentary Blink, which is okay. Awakening Zone seems really good with Upheaval, so I'll pick up that. Not really much I want here. Probably pick up the Seal of Cleansing just to have it as a sideboard option. We do have 3 fix already, which should suffice for just having Sphinxes. Like we have 2 late game bombs here, Sphinx's Revelation and Upheaval. Of course, Upheaval works against Sphinx's Revelation, but like Awakening Zone works together with Sphinx's Rev and Upheaval. And if we open an equipment, then Awakening Zone becomes even better. And just having a blocker every turn is really strong. The card Awakening Zone is pretty nice, especially with these 2. So Dried Sophisticate Wield, Stonecloaker Wield, but I don't think this is better than this, seeing that this is in my splash. So let's pick up the Dryad. I think this is the pack that Vengevine was in, the pack that's gonna come to me. Seems unlikely that will, but there were some lands in there that I wanted as well. Windswept Heat. We'll see though, we'll see. So this guy is now picking slower than this guy, so he does So he has showed up, or there's just some kind of buggy here. I don't know. Like I dislike this timer still being here. Like you think that when a timer reaches 0, you get your another pack, but that's obviously not true. Oh, this is that pack that actually had nothing for me. Like Pristine Angel, just pick the Naturalize as a sideboard card, so we have 2 disenchant effects here. Only have 17 cards, which is a bit at the low end. We definitely want some more good cards. So Sakashima probably won't wheel either. Seems to be a lot of blue drafters in this draft. So I'm gonna be green base with basically 2 splashes, but blue being one of the other main colors, just because it's more double, and there are some really good cards in there. Like Cloudfin Raptor obviously isn't the strongest, but Dungeon Geist and Upheaval is really good, Sphinx's Revelation is really good, and Willbender is okay. So Eaterling Wield, definitely slamming that one. The card is really good, like it's a 4/5, okay, but then every ability there just makes it nice. Capsize versus Far Away, it's obvious that Capsize is better than Far Away. Mainly because you don't play black. Probably won't play the Capsize though, and we get Beast Within, nice. So we do think Beast Within is a main deckable card here. Probably won't play this, and probably won't play this. Although the Willbender might get played, we'll see. So we have Rofellas, Scavenging Ooze, a Johnny, but as a splash. Rofellas is gonna accelerate really big, because we are base green. Scavenging Ooze. I think Rofellas is better then. Hope this wheels, maybe this wheels, and very unlikely that this wheels, but you never know. Stoneforge Mystic White wheel, but we don't really have anything. Basically the question is these 2. I think Rofellas is just a bit too good to pass up here. Obviously don't want to play turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor and then turn 2 Rofellas. Just impossible for me at this point. So there's 2 fix. There's 2 really good cards, 3. Maybe one of these 2 wheels, but I think I have to go for the Wolfir here. Troll Static would be fine, but Wolfir is just a really good creature. Late game bomb, so we have 2 late game bombs to be honest. Plus Upheaval plus Sphinx's Rev, but I mean 2 late game bomb creatures, which we might be able to accelerate out with Rofellas at one point. But yeah, I think Sphinx's Rev is worth splashing for, and Upheaval is just too good to pass up. So we're on 13 creatures here, we need 3 more cards. If we don't get those, we can main deck Willbender, maybe this even. There's Borderland Rangers, there's Sakura Tribalder. This fixes it a little bit, but it gets a basic, and I don't think I want to play basic. I need to run a basic plane. No, this can get Hallowed Fountains, and there's no need to run a basic plane. So then there's Sakura Tribalder, which accelerates me into 4 drops. So I think that's a bit better. Of course, this doesn't get. Oh, this doesn't either, so that doesn't really matter. So Sakura Tribalder it is. Another 2-drop, which we obviously wanted, and it actually even pumps Cloudfin Raptor. So we have 1 accelerant into 3 drops and 1 accelerant into 4 drops. Assuming we sacrifice it. Sakura Tribal is a card I really liked. When I think the time Sakura Tribal was out was the time that I got into Legacy. Strangleroot Geist seems a bit better than all the rest. Like it's probably not a nuts card, but it's an okay card. It's somewhat semi-aggressive, like I'm mid-rangey anyway. I think it's better than Juicy Apprentice here. Juicy Apprentice is an okay card, but I think Strangleroot Geist is a bit better. This has basic land card as well, so this does draw cards, but we have Sphinx's Rev. Okay. And there's Lotus Cobra, but there's also Trigon Predator. I think Lotus Cobra is a bit better though. We did actually ask for it, so probably pick this up and maybe cut like a Relic if I find something else to play over it. But yeah, when Sakura Tribuilder, that was the time that I started playing Legacy, and back then, like, a white threshold was really good. And like, I just played Rock, but my own build with Sakura Tribuilder, and the card was just insane. Like, you cast it, they can never attack with Nimble Mongos because you just block. Um, and it's just mana acceleration, so like they're never gonna counter it, but you can just block and then sacrifice it to get more mana in play, and then so many counters of them just become useless. Like the card was just that good. But then of course they changed to red threshold, and it changed the entire dynamic of the game. It's always metagaming, all the time. And it's interesting. It's interesting to metagame. It's interesting to think about those things. But eventually, like, it's always the same old story, though. Figure out what a metagame is. Figure out what's good against the metagame. Figure out what's good against the good decks that against the decks that are good against the metagame, and then probably play that deck. So we get this Garruk, which is another card draw. It's a really good card. Play that over Relic easily. And we can even drop that turn 3, maybe. So we have 2 Garruks now, and there's Avenger of Zendikar as well. Obviously slamming that, and then we remove Capsize. Or maybe Dried Sophisticate, I'm not sure. We'll see. Like, we have 23 cards right now because I got the Capsize. But Avenger, like, we lost against it last time, right? So again, not a lot of blue, because someone to our left is somewhere to our right is definitely blue. But I mean, we managed to pick up Upheaval. We managed to pick up pretty good blue cards. So there's Rifting Cloudskate and Senses Divining Top. That's an interesting one. Rifting Cloudskate is really good, but I think Senses Divining Top is better. Sensitive Divining Top sets up things. It's better to find Upheaval, yeah, and then just got the Dried Sophisticate, I think. And this Wheels, wow. Probably even gonna play it. Legacy's Lure Wheels as well, but I think I have to pick up Elricar Waste here. Troll Static is also pretty good. Like, what would I cut for that? I think I just want this. Still need to cut a single card if I want to run a Johnny, which I might not. Like, just bring it in against control or something. But it is a really good card. I didn't even know what this does. Yeah, pretty bad. Mirror Entity is probably a stronger card. Not gonna play it. Juicy Apprentice wield. Wow. Dragon Predator wield. Wow. So probably play that over Beast Within. Because it's a really good one. And we can bring in Beast Within. So 25, now we have too many cards. We got the Juicy Apprentice, so we might want to cut like Cloudfin Raptor. Because it's in our splash basically. This can become like a late game bomb. This obviously isn't a 6-drop either. Academy Runes, whatever. Seeding Song, whatever. So we still need to cut a card, and maybe one Cloudfin Raptor, Beast Within, maybe Capsize, very unlikely. But that's about it from our sideboard. So what's there to cut? So Ajani is there to cut. Like, we do run 17 creatures. So it's actually pretty good, but it's bad when you're behind, of course. It's good against control, so I think that's the reason we want it in. Juicy Apprentice is an okay card, but it's always going to be hampering our mana. I think Juicy Apprentice is probably worse than Ajani. Ajani would make sure that we have 2 reasons to splash. And we have 4 fixed already, so that's sufficient to run this. Or to run these 2, because as said, this is a late game drop. So maybe Juicy Apprentice is out. And we just bring it in against control. Obstinate Bailout could also be gone, but is Obstinate Bailout worse than Juicy Apprentice? That's the question. I don't think so. Like 4/4 for 4 and gaining life is okay. We do want enough creatures to be able to play when we drop Rofellos. Yeah, I think Juicy Apprentice is out. We do have Sphinx as ref. We have 3 blue fix, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 7 blue cards and 13 blue casting costs, and we have way more green. We have 3 lands that produce blue but not green, so those count as islands already. So I think we want 4 islands. 4 islands and the rest forests. Let's see what it actually suggests. It obviously says like, hey man, you need plains. No, I don't. Whoops. So like this. No, that's one too many. So this gives us 7 blue sources for 7 cards. We always want 2 in play, but I mean these all fix for that. And then plenty of forests, which we obviously want. I think this is fine, and I'm gonna submit, and I'll see you guys for round 1.